This Celebrity, one of GM's new A cars, is meant to replace Malibu as a mid-size family car. It is smaller than Malibu, but it is not a downsized Malibu. Chevy sees Celebrity's domestic competition as Fairmont, Granada, Reliant, Aries, and Concord. It's no accident that they put Ford products on top of their list. But Fairmont, although very comparable in size and features, costs not just hundreds, but thousands of dollars less. The buyer who can afford a Celebrity is much more likely to consider Granada, with its classic styling and high level of luxury. But don't forget that LTD is also a viable alternative for people who have considered a Celebrity. It provides all the benefits of a full-size car: roominess, ride, comfort, and convenience. Yet when you comparably equip an LTD and Celebrity four-door, LTD has a $132 price advantage. Also, LTD is priced well under the other GM A cars: Pontiac 6000, Buick Century, and old Sierra. In fact, LTD is over $400 less than Sierra, a fact that will have a lot of people shaking their heads. So Ford brackets Celebrity with Fairmont on the low end for people who are most sensitive to price, Granada for those who want mid-size car luxury, and LTD on the high end for those who prefer full-size comfort and luxury. The most direct competitor we have to face off with Celebrity, however, is Granada. In this program, we're going to compare Granada and Celebrity in model and series availability, passenger room, trunk space, technology, standard features, power team availability, and price. Now let's take a closer look at Celebrity. They call it the bright new shape of Chevrolet, but it was built on the X-Car platform. The wheelbase stayed the same, but Chevy tacked on nearly a foot to the overall length, all overhang. And they gave Celebrity a conventional roofline to stress family sedan appeal. But they left the passenger compartment about the same. In fact, when you compare front and rear head, leg, shoulder, and hip room in four doors, Celebrity actually has less room than Citation in 5 out of the 8 dimensions. But Chevrolet would rather compare Celebrity to Malibu. Even then, it comes up short in 5 out of 8 seating dimensions. What's more, Celebrity seats 5 passengers to Malibu's 6 and has less luggage room. It leads one to the conclusion that new doesn't necessarily mean improvement. With Malibu and Celebrity, Chevrolet salesmen face stiff competition right on their own showroom floor, but not as stiff as they face with Granada. Comparing front seat room in two-door models, Granada has comparable headroom, the same shoulder room, more leg room, and significantly more hip room, almost 4 inches more than Celebrity. And in the back seat, Granada has more hip room, plenty of room for 3. But there is one more Ford advantage. At no extra cost, Granada can be ordered with a front bench seat so that 3 can ride in front, 6 passenger capacity. Celebrity can only seat 5. And let's not forget trunk room. First, Granada makes more sensible use of space. And Granada has room for 1 cubic foot more. Granada has a deep well trunk that can carry suitcases in an upright position. And it's easy to get at any one when you want to take them out. And Granada's liftover height is a couple of inches lower than Celebrity, making loading and unloading easier. The new Celebrity doesn't offer that kind of trunk convenience. It seems the bright new shape of Chevrolet is not so bright as those better ideas that Ford designed into Granada. Granada is more efficiently shaped for people and their luggage. Now, Chevy says Celebrity is shaped to perform. They may look at their gasoline engines as high-tech, but we don't. Celebrity's standard engine is a 2.5-liter 4, also borrowed from Citation, and you can only get it with an automatic. They say it has electronic fuel injection. However, it doesn't inject fuel directly into the cylinder heads, but into the bottom half of a carburetor, the throttle body. Granada has a 2.3-liter four-cylinder standard. It produces about the same horsepower as Chevy's 2.5. But Granada buyers do have a choice of transmissions, a standard manual or optional automatic. Celebrity has an optional 2.8-liter V6. It's not much larger than the 4, and again, it's only available with an automatic. Granada offers two 6s, a 3.3-liter inline 6, and a new lightweight 3.8-liter V6. It weighs little more than some four-cylinder engines, but delivers about as much power as Ford's 4.2-liter V8. That's an example of innovative technology. Celebrity does have a 4.3-liter V6 diesel, but it produces less horsepower than their four-cylinder gasoline engine, and it costs more, nearly $800 more, as a matter of fact. Here's another point buyers should consider carefully. Celebrity's diesel engine has mileage ratings of 41 and 26 miles per gallon. Granada's 2.3-liter four-cylinder has ratings of 33 and 22. Figuring the diesel's advantage of 4 miles per gallon when using EPA-estimated MPG, the cost of diesel fuel at $1.35 per gallon, and gasoline at $1.45 per gallon, and figuring 15,000 miles driven per year, it will take the Celebrity diesel owner over 7 years to recover that $775 premium he paid up front. Simply stated, Granada buyers have a much better choice. 4 powertrains to 3 to meet their personal fuel economy or performance needs. Celebrity may be shaped by high technology, but not with any significant new technology, with the exception of their $775 diesel engine. That's pretty expensive technology, if you ask me. Let's talk about standard features. Here are a dozen features which are standard on the Granada L that are extra cost or not available at all on Celebrity. Now let's look at the standard features that Celebrity has that Granada doesn't. Maybe we ought to take a closer look at a couple of those standard Celebrity features. The Celebrity side window defoggers blow air on the side windows. Granada has outboard air vents that can direct air at the windows too. The Celebrity front seat armrest is fixed. It won't fold up. Granada's no-cost optional flight bench seat has an armrest which folds up. I think you see my point. Oh, and another thing. Granada has a glove box that's designed to hold more than just the driver's manual. Celebrity's glove box is much smaller, and it opens down at such an angle that Celebrity owners could find themselves constantly picking things up off the floor. One of those little things that could become a big annoyance. Additionally, Granada's standard manual transmission on the 2.3-liter four-cylinder gives buyers a choice and makes the car affordable to more people. And manual steering does the same. But even if you add an automatic transmission and power steering, Granada is still priced under Celebrity, with many more standard features. Now let's look at the bottom line, prices. First, base sticker prices of the Granada L and Celebrity two-door models. Granada is priced $1,187 less than Celebrity. That more than covers the cost of power steering and the automatic transmission. In fact, there's almost $600 left over. And when the cars are typically equipped with options buyers are most likely to order, and the buyer takes advantage of the Granada VIP package and adds value option package 173A, the Granada Advantage grows to $1,318. When you compare prices on four-door models, Granada's Advantage is almost identical to the two-door models we just looked at. Chevrolet advertises that Celebrity is shaped for the way you are today. Well, the way most people are today. They want a car shaped to fit their needs and their pocketbook. Granada with its classic styling and long list of standard features, will leave the buyer's wallet in much better shape than Celebrity, by hundreds, in fact as much as $1,000, and without any sacrifice in mid-size comfort or luxury. Fairmont Futura, Granada, and LTD, 3 cars you can stack up against Celebrity in terms of value for the dollar and price. You'll have a hard time keeping a confident smile off your face.